to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video, and in this video we're going to talk about the recently released Josh Gordon and whether or not the New York Giants should give him a look. Of course, the New York Giants are pretty thin at the wide receiver position after releasing Odell Beckham, and they lack a true number one threat, which, when his head is on straight, Josh Gordon pretty much represents. We all remember back in 2013 or 14, I think it was, Josh Gordon had a season in which he nearly eclipsed 1,700 yards for the Cleveland Browns and was the best wide receiver, arguably, in football that year. He then had run-ins with substance abuse, whether it be alcohol or drugs, throughout his career a number of times. I think Cleveland gave him 3 or 4 chances before releasing him. He then ended up on the New England Patriots, in which he played well last year. I think he had 720 yards in 11 games before the Patriots decided to release him. They then gave him another chance this year. Now, this time around, I do not believe it is substance abuse related. I believe that the Patriots just are not happy with his play on the field. He's got about 260 yards receiving this year. They placed him on IR. Now, the reason that I read they placed him on IR is so that he would have to go through waivers. Had they just released him, I think somebody could have signed him. And, the Patriots feared that he could go to a contending team. By doing it this way, Belichick and the Patriots are hoping a team like the Giants grab him. And there are reasons why the Giants should grab him, and I'm going to get into them in this video. Outside of the fact that Daniel Jones could use a target like a Josh Gordon who may help the passing game. They're pretty thin, like I said. Sterling Shepard continues to have concussions. Obviously, Golden Tate's a slot wide receiver, and Darius Slayton is a deep threat. But they could really use a guy like a Josh Gordon to help their receiving corps if he is still good. He's still only 28 years old. Obviously, he's a substance abuse guy. He's a guy that if he did that, you release him just like the Patriots did. And that is something that New England does very well. They always are willing to give guys chances. They gave Antonio Brown a chance. They gave Josh Gordon a chance. There's several other players. Randy Moss worked out beautifully, but he was thought to be a cancer in the locker room in Oakland, was thought to be a diva, and he came to New England and, set records. So is Gordon worth a shot? Well, I'm going to get into my reasoning, why and why not, after I show you guys these numbers. So there's Josh Gordon, formerly of the Patriots, and here is the waiver priority as it stands. The Giants currently sit 6th. Now, the Redskins and the Bengals have already come out and said that they do not have an interest in bringing in Josh Gordon, or at least they insinuated it, which would leave the Dolphins, who I don't see happening, the Falcons and the Jets. And it's possible that they claim him, but it's also incredibly possible that Josh Gordon is there for the Giants. And the question is, will the New York Giants take him? Also, I wanted to show you guys this. This is just a proof that from Josina Anderson that the Bengals and the Redskins have no interest in him. My understanding, the Bengals aren't planning to claim Josh Gordon. Then for the Redskins, I'm told the Redskins currently are expressing they like the wide receivers to their roster. So they're kind of insinuating that they do not expect to have Josh Gordon on their roster. Now, previous history will tell you that the New York Giants will not bring in a wide receiver like this. They had a no-nonsense approach with Plaxico Burress. They got rid of Odell Beckham. But Odell Beckham is a different animal. I think the reason they got rid of Odell Beckham is because they feared that he could be a distraction in the locker room and could make it hard for a rookie quarterback to mature. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong on that. With Josh Gordon, he's not. First off, there's no risk. You're not signing him to a long-term deal. You're bringing him in on a prove-it deal for the last 8 games, and then some may say, why would you bring him in on a prove-it deal for the last 8 games? You're not going to the playoffs, and more than likely we are not. But there's 2 reasons to do it. The first reason is to help out Daniel Jones, get your guy a number 1 wide receiver, and maybe he plays well here, and maybe he wants to come back on a contract. And, you give him a 1 or 2 year deal. You're not going to give this guy a long-term contract. If he acts up, you get rid of him right away. But the other reason would be if he plays here and he plays well, you can get a comp pick for him. That is what I read online. That is a theory that the Giants would be able to get a compensation pick for him if he played well and they did not bring him back. And obviously it would be based on the contract that he was provided. So those are the reasons why the New York Giants should bring this guy in. The reasons they shouldn't, well, it's obvious. The guy's probably regressed a bit. He's 28 years old. You're not in contention. And he's had instances with substance abuse. So it's up to you guys to decide. Would you bring him in or wouldn't you? I think there are reasons why it makes sense, and I think there are reasons why it does not. But at the end of the day, we'll see if the New York Giants do, in fact, go after him. My guess is they probably don't, but I would not be opposed to it if they did. As always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up.